All right, guys, welcome back. It is week 6. We are back in the studio finally. It's really nice to be back. You know, it's been a very frustrating couple of weeks. But for our sponsor, Floridian Spring Water, they donated a lot to Western North Carolina during the hurricanes. We just want to give a shout out to them. I think it's pretty good. But anyways, we've got some matchups to get into.
Yep.
And the first one's going to be Woody's Roundup because we have a very special guest. Woody's Roundup is in the house. Woohoo! Even though his team's struggling, but we can get into that, Brad.
I wouldn't say struggling.
Yeah,
136 is not a struggle.
Yeah.
But he's losing games. You got to win football games to get into the playoffs.
I will say I'm third in scoring. So I'm third.
Yep.
Only you and
Little Giants.
Little Women have beat me so far. So
Yeah.
I'm 3-3. I'm on my way up.
Yep.
I've got the lower half of the table to play.
If you're
Things are
searching
really
for those
looking
kind
good.
of stats, it just shows that you don't know how to read the win and loss column. That's all.
793. 793.
Again,
I'm the only,
if I had Jake's schedule, I would still be undefeated. So
yeah, I will
Sure,
say
Brad.
that's a really good point because I think you're pretty high up there on
points.
It's 2 and 4.
735. So I think it's just a matter of who have you played yet.
2 wins, 4 losses. I wonder where
Hey,
that
we're
puts
6
you.
games in. We kind of know what we got. And now we're going to find out. You have a good team.
But for the matchup, okay,
Yep.
Little Giants against Woody's Roundup. Marvin Harrison was struggling for you. Chase doesn't get what he normally gets.
Struggling is an understatement. He got 0.
Yeah.
Well, I had 2 injuries. So think about it. I have 2 injuries. She scores 160-some points. I still would have battled with her if I had no injuries.
yeah. Well, why is she getting 167?
The main thing for her right now, Derrick Henry has been a beast for her.
40 points.
She had a good plug and play. She picked up the backup running back for the New York Giants. He had 22 points because Singletary was hurt. So that was a good play for her. And then George Kittle has had 5 touchdowns in 4 weeks from a tight end.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
That's probably the best tight end in the league now because, you know, it's not like Travis Kelce's playing well.
No.
So if you have the best tight end in the league, that definitely propels you forward.
Yep.
How you doing? You must be Ron Richardson. I'm Jack Butler. Nice to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Huh? I say I'm pleased.
Meet you. I'm just waiting for Carolyn.
Well, Ron, you know women.
Yeah, I like to think I do.
On a beer?
7 o'clock in the morning.
Scotch?
Not during working hours. Oh, I'm sorry, pal.
No problem. Come on over here, Ron. Let me show you what I'm doing. Taking advantage of some of the time off to add a whole new wing on here. I'm going to rip these walls out and, of course, rewire it.
Yeah, you're gonna make it all 220?
Yeah, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
Well, you sound like a pretty handy guy.
All right, now on to the next matchup, the Neighborhood against Louisiana Voodoo.
Neighborhood playing well.
Yeah, Neighborhood's been playing well. She's 3-3. And just got a massive upgrade at receiver because Devontae Adams was just traded to
The Jets.
the New York Jets with Aaron
And
Rodgers.
now he's going to be with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be happy. His girlfriend's kissing him now. He's going to be scoring points. Also in this game, she didn't put in Josh Allen. Josh Allen got 28 points. She put in Kirk Cousins, who got 14. The Neighborhood could be a lot better than she actually is. She still struggles to get over 100 points, but I mean she's getting wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, she won't be going forward, though. She's going to be right battling in that 7 spot for the playoffs.
Oh, you think she will be getting the playoffs?
She
Okay.
will be good. Yeah, no doubt. That's a big change for her.
Yeah.
Henry! Where were you? Why didn't you call? Where have you been? We were worried to death. A married man does not stay out like this. Mom! Normal people don't act like this! What's wrong with you? Henry! You're not normal. She's right. What's wrong with you, Henry? What kind of person are you? What is the matter with you?
All right, now into the next matchup. Dudes Abide against Rule 1. I'm number 1.
It's crazy. Frankie is still winning football games without his best players. He did get Deebo Samuel back. He did get 28, but he doesn't have Cup. He's been struggling this whole time to get people back. He snapped his losing streak. and it's looking good for him going into the playoffs.
Yeah, he has a little bit of depth, too. He's got Nick Chubb coming back from injury. Cooper Kupp's going to be coming back in the next couple weeks from injury. He's got Josh Downs on his bench, who's been really consistent point scorer.
Yep.
And look, I like his team. He's picked up Mark Andrews off the waiver wire from the tight end spot. So I really like Frankie's team. This is my pick to actually win the league this year if he stays healthy.
I don't know about that, but I know he's going to be dangerous in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think his quarterback situation is going to end up hurting him.
Yeah, Flacco's good, but to go all the way, I don't know about that.
Flacco's going to get you 14, 15 points.
Frankie, C.J. Stroud is available, so let me know.
I'm sure he is.
So is Matthew Stafford.
Picture yourself in a living room, your pipe and slippers set out for you. I know you think that it ain't too far, but I hear a call of a lifetime ring.
All right, now on to the next matchup. It was a rivalry game. It is Let's Go Brandon against Art of the Deal. Brad, what did you see in this one?
Yeah, so Thursday night, I had some hope that Mason was going to have a big game. Then he lands on his shoulder, gets hurt, and doesn't play but one snap the rest of the game. And he was poised for a very big game.
He was.
Jake texted me that night and said, I'm nervous, and that he was already said he was going to lose because
I
all of
don't
his
remember saying that.
good players are on a bye week.
I heard it.
It was okay. Here's
or
the thing.
injured. Or injured.
This week, Brad was the favorite for sure. I had 3 starters out, but my players came together. All my guys on the bench, they played really well. A.J. Brown came back 28 points. And Brad wasn't really able to get things going late Sunday, so he only got to 118. So it ended up being a pretty easy win in the end. So.
Yeah, it didn't help Justin Jefferson was on a bye week for me either. That would have been – I needed that to actually
– It was definitely a
make a
scrub
move.
match going in, but I was somehow able to pull 145.
What's your lowest that you scored this year?
I scored 118 once, and then other than that, it's 145.
Yeah. I think it's going to take 140, 150 to beat you.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
James, why have we stopped?
There's a tree fallen across the road.
Why don't we
go
do the finish?
There. Hammond and I set about the tree with all our strength. Is it stuck?
Yes. I did that.
You know everything you try and do ever?
Yes.
It's terrible.
Why am I so utterly useless at literally... Why didn't you just drive through it?
All right, now on to the next matchup. We've got Snowball versus, the RBs something. But here's the thing. Closest matchup of probably CWFL history. I think we got here this week. It was 84.2 to 84. Brad, what happened? And is this Snowball's first win? I think
This was her first win.
First win.
Look,
oh my
it
gosh.
came down to a tight end on Sunday Night Football. She needed 3 points.
3?
3
Just
points.
3.
And he got 3 points exactly.
Oh my gosh. I mean, look, a win is a win, Maggie. You got to start somewhere. But I can't believe it was actually that tight. It's crazy. Crazy.
Maggie, I got a tight end for you. Call me.
I'm sure you do.
The man who in his life had uttered fewer words than any of them knew exactly what to say.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
All right, now on to the next matchup. Chattahooligan against Take What You Can. And this is the first matchup that is considered Monday Night Madness.
It is, and I'm going to tell you why. Brees Hall hasn't been playing that well for the past 2 weeks. You didn't really know what was going to happen. Logan goes into Monday night with nobody playing, but Elsa has Brees Hall left. Logan's up by 10 points, and Brad, what happened to Brees Hall?
Brees Hall went off. He had 26 points. They just kept feeding him the whole time.
I think he did it mostly in the first half.
Yeah, most of it in the first half. I mean, Logan moves to 0-6. He had a shot. I mean, Brees Hall could have gotten hurt. A lot of things could have happened.
I will say this, though. Rattler looked really good. I know he didn't get points, but I'm telling you what.
Yeah.
I take him at Carolina.
That's
Take
true.
anybody at Carolina.
I mean, the biggest worry for Elsa here is other than Lamar Jackson and Brees Hall, she didn't have many points.
Metcalf is dropping off.
Yeah,
Take what you
Metcalf,
can-
Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard got hurt, and Jerome Ford is no longer going to be a starting running back because Nick Chubb is coming back from injured reserve next week.
I definitely think once we get to our next segment, Take What You Can should be listening because they need to make some moves if they want to do well in the playoffs.
I didn't do this. You think it's funny? You're trespassing on my property. Get the hell out of my yard.
JT, let me have this house.
JT let you have my house.
Yes.
My
I won it.
You're trespassing on my property. You didn't win in my yard.
Wait.
All of you.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
The last Monday Night Madness, we've got Donald's grand team against Lorelai Gilmore. Brad, Lorelai was down by a lot, but she did have Garrett Wilson.
Yes, she needed a big night from Garrett Wilson, and she almost got it. Came up just short, 138 to 130. Garrett Wilson had 29 points.
He had that one in the end zone, and they
Yep.
should have called, not an interception, but
Was
Pass interference?
Was it
pass interference.
Yeah.
It was pass interference. He had it.
He had it, and they just took him out.
Yep.
And that would have been probably enough with that.
Yeah,
pass,
that catch with the touchdown.
I think
point,
he had
she
another
would've won.
catch that he got sandwiched, that he dropped the ball on.
Yep.
Yeah, he got a lot of targets.
It came really, really close.
Yeah.
and it shouldn't have been. But Garrett Wilson just had that big game, man.
Yeah, but look, that's going to be a big problem for Jordan coming up with Devontae Adams trade because that's going to eat into his targets every week.
And how healthy his neighbor's going to be. They say he's going to come back next week, but he has a concussion, and people are worried about it. So I don't know what's going to happen to her team.
Listen, Sam, I know what I'm going to do, man. Look, I'm just going to go to the authorities and tell them the truth. Like, I had nothing to do with this. I'm going to
Hey, you wanted this, right? You wanted the real deal? That's what this is. Wake up. You're in the middle of it. You want to run? Go ahead. No one's stopping you. Stop complaining.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
All right, guys, welcome to a new segment. It is the trade for. Okay, so we're going to be talking about players that you want to possibly sell or buy, and also trades that we've been making this week. So we want to keep you informed so you can make the best decisions. Brad, with trades that have already happened or not been approved, apparently.
Yeah, so
this
one
might be
got-
some news for some people.
One
out there.
got shut down yesterday. There was a trade between Elsa and Frankie. It was Baker Mayfield, who's actually been putting up some big fantasy
I think he
points.
has number one points
as a quarterback.
As a quarterback?
He's
yeah.
close. He's close.
For Darnell Mooney, who's okay, hit or miss,
Very hit or
and
miss.
Bucky Irving, who is going to be one of 3 running backs once Rashad White comes back.
New kid on the block. Everyone hates Rashad White, but still not a good trade.
No, wasn't a good trade. Jeff didn't think it was a good trade, so he shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you've got these couples, you know, it's kind of like calling a penalty in soccer. There's something else added to it.
Penalty.
When the decision is made, you just can't let these kind of trades go through.
So there's another trade this morning, and it was between Carolyn and myself. First and foremost, I want you to know how hard it is to make a deal with my wife.
I'm shocked. I mean, has she made a trade since the A.J. Brown trade from last year?
And we had a better trade going.
Debatable.
Debatable.
I don't like Mike
Well,
Evans.
tell us what we got. Tell us what we got.
So,
you and Carolyn.
I got Jaden Reed for the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Jones for the Minnesota Vikings. And I gave up Jahmyr Gibbs, Jalen Tolbert, and who's the other one?
I mean, it's your trade.
Khalil Shakir, sorry.
Shakir, okay, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I kind of like it because, of course, Reed's going to be good, but Aaron Jones is in a very, very good offense. He has to stay healthy, though.
That's my big concern with
That's the
that,
problem.
is I gave up a healthy, consistent running back in Jahmyr Gibbs for the risk of a big game in Aaron Jones, but he's also very, very injury prone. But I like the big game capability of Jaden Reed.
All right, guys. Now on to the last part of the segment. We're all going to give a player that we think you should buy and a player that you should sell. So be listening if these are the players that you own or that you are interested in. Take notes. Brad, who do you got this week?
So my buy low is Tyreek Hill. Look, Tua Tagovailoa is
coming back.
He's gonna come back. He's gonna get big points, but they don't know when that's gonna be. And if Tua gets hurt again, which probably will happen, Logan, don't ever trade for Tua again. Tyreek is done.
Yeah.
Tyler Huntley does it like Tyler Huntley can't throw a football.
He can. It's just maybe he needs time. But we don't know if he likes Tyreek.
I thought he would be better than that.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
But with Tua coming back, that's my buy low.
I mean,
Go get him.
I don't know if Donald's going to give him up, but that's a good one. Sell.
My sell high, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Look, Detroit offense, Jamison Williams stepping up this year has been a big deal in taking targets from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery have been steamrolling people. They're just going to run the football. Granted, they had a good week last week. I mean, Goff had a good week, but Amon-Ra didn't. So he's not been producing much. So that is my sell high, and that goes to Dudes Abide.
Dudes Abide. All right, Steve, who you got?
I really wasn't prepared for this.
Okay, well, we just started today. So.
Yeah, so the one I like is CeeDee Lamb. Okay. You know, everybody's all against Dallas. Don't look at the team, look at the player. CeeDee Lamb's still number 2. That's somebody I was trying to trade for.
He's still available. He's still available. We can still negotiate it.
I like that. And the other one that, just because I'm a Carolina fan, Drake May. He did have 3 touchdowns and he did have 3 interceptions, but it doesn't really count that much. He really still got 23 points. And could Drake May become that next quarterback?
He is also on my team, so we'll talk.
I'm sure you guys will after we get away from the trade floor. All right, guys, I'm going to take us back into Dallas. Dak Prescott. He's been having a really bad year as a quarterback, especially last week. They got blown out. He's been getting 1 and 3-point games. But we all know that Dak Prescott can put up 40-point games. We might need to just wait a couple of weeks, maybe 5. So
maybe a year.
If you're going to buy low, see if you can put Dak Prescott on your bench and see if you can survive a couple weeks, because that could be a really good fantasy option for you. Now, who you really need to sell high, and it's unfortunate I have to say this because I've been trying to trade for him, but Micah, you need to sell this guy really high. Stephon Diggs. I would know this personally because of Nico Collins. A lot of targets go to Nico. He is out for probably 4 to 6 weeks because of his hamstring. Stephon Diggs is the top player in Houston. Yeah. Hold on to him or sell him very, very high. Get a couple of players. Maybe you could shift your season around because of this right now if the person you're trading with understands how valuable Stephon Diggs is.
It's funny you say that because I tried to trade you Diggs a couple weeks ago, and you said he's not good.
When there's Nico Collins in the picture. Now when he's out, even Tank Dell, if you want to go buy Tank Dell, that could be a good flex position. We'll see what happens with them. But Joe Mixon did just come back, so we don't know. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is week 6. We are finally back. That's really nice to have Woody's Roundup on.
Yes.
We're going to try to get the neighborhood on next week. She couldn't be here this week to talk about her success. Other than that, thank you. Bye-bye.